Welcome to part 1 of learning how to calibrate your filament in your slicer. In this first part we'll be calibrating the temperature. The filament in question is this Uzi PLA by F3DM. I'm using an A1 and the generic PLA filament profile. Firstly I'm going to print a benchy to see how the generic settings hold up. Make sure you dry your filament too before you carry out any calibrations. This benchy actually looks pretty good for uncalibrated filament. There's essentially zero stringing on this, which is pretty impressive. However, there are some surface defects, which hopefully we can fix up in this series. The calibration toolbar can be found here in your slicer. However, if you're using Bambu Studio, you will have to activate Develop Mode in Preferences, which can be found by scrolling all the way to the bottom. As I said earlier, we're going to be starting this series by calibrating the temperature. Once selected, you'll see options for which filament type you want to calibrate, and the temperature range you want to test. The defaults are good, so I'm going to click OK, which will then generate a temperature tower model that looks like this. You can see the temperatures engraved on the sides of the model. After slicing, you can change the slice preview to temperature. This way you can see the temperature differences during the print, where the higher temperatures start at the bottom and the lower temperatures end at the top. After printing, you need to analyze the model. So what we're looking for is the temperature of the best overall print quality. This includes stringing, surface defects, bridging, and warping. You can see the highest temperatures have a few surface defects and the bridging quality on the left side here isn't great. And the same can probably be said for the lower temperatures at the top. If anything, the surface quality is worse here. So we're looking at one of the temperatures in the middle. Ironically, it seems that the default nozzle temperature of 220 is given the best results. But it's always worth printing a temp tower to make sure. Back in the slicer, head to the filament settings, and then scroll down to the nozzle temperature and change it to the new value. In my case, I'm just going to reset it back to 220 degrees C. You should definitely change your settings as your own filament profile. I think I'll just name mine Uzi PLA. And that's how you calibrate your temperature. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow for part 2, as well as more 3D printing tips and tutorials.